I'm very excited to see what comes through today for love, because I feel like something's been building up. Like everything's been leading to something. It's almost like feelings are about to overpour, or communication is. I woke up this morning and received a download of like consistent stream of communication. So it's like you're going to go from either 0 to 100 in terms of communication, or from no communication to very just consistent. Consistency is key. And again, I was drawn to the key. Consistency is key here. So it feels like somebody is realizing that consistency is key with you. Yes, we have the Prince of Wands coming up. It's almost like this person was trying to figure you out. They were like, what do I do with somebody who doesn't need to be saved? They said, what do I do with somebody who doesn't need anything from me? Just purely love. This person is realizing that there's no pressure to perform, like that there's no, I feel like they almost placed a pressure on themselves, and that's what created any type of distance between the two of you. I feel like you've been really in your head over this connection, yeah, with the Five of Hearts. But again, there's a lot of growth taking place for your person. It's going from Prince of Wands to King of Wands. So this could also be an indication of an age gap of some sort. Again, confirmation of whether or not this reading is for you. But with the Ten of Swords, this is somebody who, it's like they don't want to say, it's like they see what you're missing. Like they see what you're missing. They see the softness of your soul is what's coming through. Like they see how tender you are. They really want to take care of you. Like I'm being shown these moments where like you're just not feeling your best, or you're not feeling great, and like this person has genuine concern over you, and that intimidated them a little bit, because I feel like they've never really been in the position. It's like they've been here before is what's coming through. They've been here before with another, like they've loved before in the way that they have love for you. And it ultimately led to something really painful for them. There's some deep wounding there surrounding other love connections. But with the Five of Hearts, this to me is the confirmation that both of you are going to realize that you are a perfect divine match for one another. Like this is what you've both been waiting for, is what I'm hearing. And for some reason, I'm being shown the open credits to a movie, so maybe you're going to be asked out to the movies soon. But it's like so it feels like the beginning of something new is what that is portraying to me as. It's like the beginning of a really good movie. Like for some reason, the word "really good" is coming through. It's like one of those movies that just has everything in it, you know, like a Wonder Woman or a Hunger Games or a Game of Thrones. It's just, oh my God. Actually, Game of Thrones leads me to believe that it's like you had the TV show and now comes the movie. Only the movies can be better than the TV show is what's coming through. With Death, Three of Swords, and King of Swords, this person is going to rewrite what love has been for you. This person is going to give you a new perspective on love. They're going to open inside of you something that you've never really experienced before. 333 on the timer. I'm hearing like they're taking you out of something. Like they're taking you out of lack of. Like they're taking you away from, like they really want to protect you, is what's coming through, from people who are not deserving of you, like from people who maybe you've been hurt by in the past. This person is really, they stand guard over you, is what's coming through with the Eight of Wands. That was a major arcana here flying out. The Hanged Man. There is a decision that needs to be made. So 888 is significant here. If you ever feel like the energy of confusion or doubt or worry or fear, 888 is just that confirmation that things are going to work themselves out naturally, and you don't have to push in order to get the results you want to see. So that's kind of that confirmation to just sit back and receive, like sit back and allow it to be. With the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Hanged Man, the crazy thing is that this person sees how valuable you are. Like they really see it. They see, you know, what you could be together, and they really want to come forward and be a part of this. Like they want to offer something to your life. Again, that consistent communication is coming through. But they're also, the reason why I'm feeling the Hanged Man has shown up is because they don't want to lose themselves in love. Like they don't want to get it wrong. Like they really want to get it right with you. So if there's a slow and steady motion, which is what I feel like you're moving into with this love connection, it's because they really want to take their time with you. Like this is like somebody who takes their time because they see long term. Like this isn't somebody who does it for no reason. The Queen of Hearts, you will be chosen. You will be loved and you will be loved. That song is coming through right now. You will be chosen in this. If you'd like me to dive into your personal love connection, I offer FaceTime sessions, texting sessions, and general emails, as well as personal texting throughout the day. I'm going to be offering as well. You can click the link in my bio. The Nine of Hearts, you are each other's wish fulfillment. You have to allow things to unfold for you in order to see that this is everything that you could have asked for and more.
Dear soul, before you leave, don't let this moment become just another video you watched. If something inside your heart stirred while you listened, that's not an accident. Heaven wanted these words to find you. Right now, close your eyes for a moment and declare this with faith. I am chosen. I am deeply loved. I am not forgotten. God's hand is upon my life. My love is protected. My future is blessed. My story is not over. God is still writing every chapter. Say it again, and this time, believe every word. Let these promises sink into the deepest places of your heart. Let them silence every fear, every doubt, and every lie that has tried to convince you that you've been abandoned. You are seen. You are loved. And the God who brought you this far will never leave you now. If this message touched your spirit, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who may be crying in silence. Someone who feels forgotten, or someone who is holding on by a thread. You never know whose life could change because you chose to press one simple button. Sometimes God answers someone's prayer through a message shared by another believer. And if you feel the Holy Spirit leading you to help us continue sharing these prophetic, hope-filled messages around the world, you can support this ministry through a super thanks. Whether your gift is 5-day learns, $10, $20, or whatever God places on your heart, every offering becomes part of bringing light into someone's darkest moment. May the Lord bless you beyond anything you could ask or imagine. May He restore what you've lost, open doors no one can shut, fill your home with peace, and bring every promise He has spoken over your life to pass in His perfect timing. Thank you for standing with us. Together, we are reaching broken hearts, strengthening weary souls, and reminding the world that God's love never fails. There is a specific kind of silence that precedes something extraordinary. Not the silence of absence or the silence of things going wrong. The held breath kind. The kind that exists in the moment before a piece of music you love begins. When the air in the room has changed quality and every part of you is already leaning forward, already anticipating something even before the first note has arrived. That is the silence you are living inside right now. And if it has felt lately like everything has been building towards something without quite arriving, that feeling is accurate. Something is about to overpour. The buildup has been real. The uncertainty has been real. The overthinking that has accompanied a connection that seemed to move in ways you couldn't entirely read. All of it was real, and it has been taking up space in you in ways that are probably more exhausting than you have let yourself admit. But what is coming through now is not more uncertainty. It is the particular rush of something that has been gathering momentum beneath the surface, finally breaking through into the visible. Consistent communication is coming, not occasionally, not the sporadic, hard to interpret kind that keeps you analyzing rather than simply experiencing. The kind that arrives and keeps arriving, that builds a rhythm, that says, without saying it explicitly, I'm here, I'm staying, I'm choosing this again every day. But first, let's understand the silence that came before it. Because the silence was never what it appeared to be. This person has been in their own head, navigating something that probably looks, from your side of it, like hesitation or distance, or the careful management of feelings that may or may not be as real as they seem. And from your side, that reading is understandable. But from the inside of their experience, something different has been happening. They have been trying to figure out what to do with someone who doesn't need to be saved. That is the specific and slightly disorienting challenge you have presented them with. Most connections they have been in, most love they have encountered came with a built-in role. Someone to help, to fix, to rescue from something. Someone whose need for them defined the shape of how they showed up. It gave them a purpose they could perform. A way of being valuable that required nothing more than being capable, which they are. And then there was you. With your self-sufficiency and your wholeness and your very uncomplicated desire to simply be loved rather than helped or managed or guided toward something better. And they stood there internally, slightly off balance, thinking, what do I do with this? What is my role here if not to save someone? How do I show up for someone who already knows how to show up for themselves? They put pressure on themselves, invented a standard they had to meet before they felt worthy of coming forward, constructed a performance they thought you required, rather than simply asking what you actually wanted, which, as it turns out, was nothing complicated. Just love. Just consistency. Just presence without the exhausting theater of proving themselves. They are finally beginning to understand that. And underneath all of that internal navigation, they have been carrying something else, something older and more private that has been informing everything without being spoken. They have loved before, deeply, seriously, with the full weight of who they are, and it ended in something painful enough to leave a mark. The specific kind of mark that doesn't disappear, but that you learn to move around, to account for, to factor into how you approach the next time love presents itself with a face that looks like it might matter. You look like you matter significantly, and that is both the thing that draws them and the thing that makes them careful, because mattering is what the last one did too, and they know the distance between the height of that hope and the depth of that specific kind of loss. So they have been going slowly, not from a lack of feeling, the feeling is considerable, but from the particular care of someone who wants to get this right, who sees the long term of this with enough clarity that they would rather arrive properly than arrive quickly and damage what they are coming to build. Here is what they see when they look at you, and this part deserves its own honest accounting. They see your tenderness, the softness underneath the composed exterior, the genuine vulnerability of a person who loves with their whole self and whose kindness toward the world is not performed, but simply how they are made. And the response that softness produces in them is not the casualness of someone who takes something gentle for granted. It is the instinctive response of someone who wants to stand in front of it, not control it, not reshape it or manage it or decide when and how it gets expressed. Simply stand between it and the things that have in the past been allowed to reach it carelessly. There is a protective quality in this person that is specifically activated by you, by the specific combination of strength and your softness in a way that has surprised them. They have found themselves thinking about your well-being in the moments where you are not physically present. Found themselves constructing a kind of internal guardianship around the idea of you before that guardianship had even been invited or established. They want to be the person between you and what has hurt you. Not because you cannot handle yourself. They know you can. But because the desire to protect what you love is one of the most genuine things a person can feel, and what they feel for you has arrived in that territory. Here is the insight that I keep returning to, the one that quietly reframes everything when you let it sit. You have been measuring this person's interest by the volume of their expression. And they have been measuring whether they are enough for you by an internal standard they invented without consulting you. Two people, both caring deeply, both getting it slightly wrong in complementary ways, You reading the quiet as insufficiency, they reading the not knowing what to do as inadequacy. And in the middle of that mutual misreading, the connection has been doing what connections do when both people are actually invested, but both people are also slightly afraid. It has been moving more slowly than it should, carrying more weight than it needs to, waiting for one of them to set down whatever they have been holding and simply be present. That moment is arriving, and when it does, when the communication opens up and the consistency begins, and the particular relief of finally understanding each other properly settles over everything. What comes next is going to feel like the beginning of a very good movie. The best kind. The kind that has everything in it, the depth and the warmth and the plot that keeps revealing new dimensions the further into it you get. Not the one that was good, but predictable. Not the one that promised everything in the trailer and delivered less than expected. The real kind. The kind where you are still thinking about it days later. Where something about it changed your understanding of what the genre is capable of. What came before this? The connections, the almost theirs, the chapters that were instructive but not quite right, was the television series. Good in its own way. Worth the time it took. But what is beginning now is the film. The thing the series was building toward without either of you knowing that was what it was doing. And this person is going to rewrite something in you. Not because they will demand it or design it or try to change you into something more suited to what they need, but because genuine love, the real, seen you clearly, shows up consistently kind, has a way of reaching the parts of a person that have been closed and quietly opening them, not violently. Like warmth entering a cold room. You barely notice it happening until you look up and realize the quality of the air has changed. They are going to give you a new experience of what love feels like when it is not labor. When it is not something you maintain through sustained effort while hoping the maintenance is working. When it simply is present, consistent, oriented toward you, bringing itself forward, without being coaxed or constructed or carefully managed into continuing. And a decision is still sitting in the middle of all of this. Something that needs to be chosen, or allowed to be chosen, or simply given the room to resolve itself without the force of your intervention. The guidance around that decision is the simplest and perhaps the hardest thing in this entire reading. Do not push. Not because the pushing would be wrong exactly, but because it is unnecessary. What is moving is already moving. What is building is already built enough. The consistent communications that is coming did not require your effort to initiate. It required your patience to allow. And patience. For someone who has been wondering and worrying and trying to read between the lines of a connection that has not always given clear lines to read, is probably the most demanding thing that could be asked. But it is also the most generous, because when someone takes their time because they see long term, when their slowness is not withdrawal but investment, rushing them is not love, it is pressure. And this person has been doing enough of that to themselves. You, yes, you, who has been in your head about this more than it has probably felt safe to admit, are going to be chosen. Not maybe. Not eventually. You will be chosen with the full, unhurried, genuine decision of someone who moved deliberately because they wanted to arrive correctly, not just arrive. And when that choosing comes, when the communication becomes consistent, when the protection becomes visible, when the person who has been figuring out how to love someone who doesn't need saving, fully understands the only thing required is simply loving you. Something in you is going to recognize it. Not with drama, not with the overwhelming rush of something unfamiliar, with the particular quiet of something that was always supposed to happen finally happening. You are each other's wish fulfillment, not a compromise, not a close enough. The actual answer to what both of you have been carrying as a private hope through every connection that came before this one. Let it unfold, not because you are passive or because you have stopped caring, but because what unfolds naturally here, without the pushing, without the managing, without the anxious monitoring of whether it is still moving, is more than anything that could be constructed through effort. The movie is a beginning, and it is going to be the best one you have ever seen.